we did kind of, we came down pretty quickly. Go ahead and we'll remove our speed brakes. We are going to start bleeding off some speed here pretty easily. We're not falling out of the sky anymore. Do need to get down to under 250. That is the, I'm pretty sure it's international speed restriction, 250 knots under 10,000 feet. It's the fastest you can go. But we are still losing speed, so we're going to go ahead and throw some throttle back into the mix here. We're going to start descending down. Actually, 8,000 feet is where we want to be for this waypoint coming up. So we did maybe overshoot our descent just a little bit, but I'd rather be down where I need to be early rather than trying to rush down at the last minute. But now that we're down here, flying low at 8,000 feet, pretty much right here with the clouds, get some good views when we have some openings, and even just admiring the cloud cover, cloud layer here is, I mean, they do look pretty cool.
Hello, motherfucker.
Well, hello to you too. All right, let's start our descent down to 7,000 feet here shortly. Go ahead and step down. Yeah, we're going to go down to 7,000 feet. Don't need to go down too quickly. We've got plenty of time to get down to 7,000 feet. Plenty of time. 4 minutes. We don't even need to go 1,000 feet per minute. We can go even as slow as like 500 feet per minute. We're good. 400 feet per minute would be fine too. Just gonna kind of, from here, we're gonna gradually bring it down. The winds are much calmer now. You see 3-knot crosswinds. That's for all intents and purposes non-existent. But now we'll be in a much more controlled descent, and there's definitely some weather here. So it does look like that area back there is where our views ended. Excuse me. Hello, Isaac the drummer. Welcome, welcome. We are on approach into Christchurch, New Zealand. We took off out of Auckland about an hour or so ago, and then before that we took off out of Wellington, headed to Auckland. So you're on the last leg of the flight. You're just about there. You just missed some pretty sweet turbulence, but you joined us when it's nice and calm, which is convenient. So welcome. We are no longer at standard pressure. All right. Forgot to do that. We're gonna bring our descent down just a little bit quicker now, because now we do have to make up some of that. Do have to make it up some. Zoom back out, get some of these external views again while we still can. And we'll definitely be getting some good external views on the descent, or on the approach into the runway. But it is still, I mean, it's so hard to not come out of the plane and admire these views, because obviously you can't do anything like that in real life. It's just so pretty. This game is just, I feel like I fangirl over it all stream long, but I mean, this game is just amazing. What they've been able to do, the technology, the graphics, like everything, it's ridiculous. Alright, so we're coming up on 7,000 feet. We're going to go straight down to 3,000 feet. Next, I believe that is the altitude where we intercept glide slope. on into Christchurch. We need to be at 3,000 feet by Udon, which is right here. So we'll do a pretty slow, gradual descent down to 3,000 feet. A couple hundred feet per minute should be okay. We will be fine. This is not going to be a rapid descent down. We're going to cut out some throttle. We need to start pulling our speed back a little bit here. We need to be at 230 knots to bring in any amount of our flaps, so we need to let the plane slow itself down a little bit here. You love that livery, thanks. It's so this is one of the liveries that's included with the CRJ from Aerosoft. It's not accurate for we're flying in New Zealand. SkyWest does not operate in New Zealand, but it does look cool. And I don't have any Australia / New Zealand liveries yet, but I do intend on downloading some. Excuse me. Yeah, this livery does look pretty cool. But I'm not flying for perfect accuracy. If I was, I would not be flying with a $30 joystick. I would use my full setup. So yeah. All right, we're gonna go ahead and throw in our first notch of flaps, and we're gonna introduce some throttle back in. Because now that we have the extra drag, we're gonna need the throttle to keep the speed up. As you can see, our speed is bleeding off pretty quickly now. We're down just about to 200 knots. We're going to need to increase our vertical speed, our descent down just a touch. Just a touch. That might have been a little bit too much. All right, landing lights are on. We're going to go through our landing checklist. We need to arm our reversers, arm our nose wheel steering. We're going to go ahead and turn on our logo lights just because we're going through some cloud layers here. So we descend through the soup, as they say, as real pilots say. I'm not a real pilot. As you can see, that first notch of flaps just kind of drops the leading edge of the wing down a little, just creates a little extra drag, a little extra lift. And the next notches of flaps will bring these flaps down. English is hard for me right now. Okay, we are at 4,800 feet. We need to be at 3,000 feet by Udon, which is 10 miles away. So we are going to go ahead and increase that descent rate just a touch, and we're going to throw in one more notch of flaps. Make sure our lights are all good. Everything's looking okay. Excuse me with all the sniffles and the coughing. All right, we're 1,000 feet off from our 3,000 foot assignment. And we should be seeing Christchurch Airport. It should be somewhere off to our left here, somewhere.
We are about to land. Please remain seated until we have stopped.
There it is right there. So we're going to be landing on that runway right there, runway 05. It's not left or right. I think it's just 05. Runway 02. Okay. Numbers and English are apparently hard for me right now. All right, so we're here at 3,000 feet. We're going to, where are we at? We are at flaps 8. Flaps 20, I think, is still 220. Okay. Throw in one more notch of flaps. We need to increase our throttle because we are continually adding more drag. These are very low-level clouds here. It does look like there is some weather coming in to Christchurch. Add a touch more throttle. We're holding about 200 knots here. It's just about what we want for now. The next notch of flaps is going to be, we need to be down to 185 knots, but I'm not going to go ahead and put that until after we make this turn here. And then at that point, we're also going to switch our nav source over to the localizer, so that way the plane can start preparing itself to catch the intercept the glide slope into Christchurch here. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and come outside for a quick minute here. Just get a few quick views outside of the plane as we make this turn here. All right, gonna go ahead and pull the throttle back some. Do need to get down to 185 knots to, again, to put that last notch of flaps out, or that second to last, excuse me. All right, and we're also going to go ahead and switch our nav source over to the localizer, and we're going to go ahead and arm the approach mode. So pretty soon you should see all of this move over to this side, which means that the plane has caught the glide slope, has intercepted the localizer. And at this point, I'm just praying I put the correct localizer code in. 109.9. That should be right for Christchurch, but we will see. We will see. Where is the airport? I believe it's over there. I mean, it looks like everything is okay. Just don't think I'm quite there yet. All right, we're at 108. Nope, we're at 160. So we are good. We're going to go ahead and throw in another notch of flaps. We're going to also increase our throttle some. Okay. All right, it's caught it. Okay, localizer. It's there. Now we're just waiting on the glide slope to be intercepted, which the difference between the localizer and the glide slope is the vertical guidance, localizer is the lateral guidance, so it has caught it. All right, everything is green. We should be good. The plane should start guiding itself down appropriately. Let's just, all right, we're slightly over speed, and it looks like it did kind of capture it a little late. There's our runway there, but we are obviously kind of off the mark a bit. Excuse me again, COVID is kind of kicking the shit out of my throat. Go ahead and drop our landing gear. We are, as you can see, we are slowly descending here. This little green diamond is our glide slope indicator. That's what the plane is following down. So go ahead and drop our landing gear. All right, reversers are armed, nose wheel steering is armed. We'll power up the APU when we get on the ground. Nose landing lights are on, seatbelt sign is on. Okay, we need to be 170 for the final notch of flaps. Close enough. Going to go ahead and put in some more throttle because we just added more drag. And let's go ahead and get some final views outside of the plane before we get this landing. And you can see downtown Christchurch there. Let's get a quick over the wing view here. It's pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, back in here for the business. Excuse me. All right, everything is looking pretty good here. Even though it seemed like it did catch the glide slope or the localizer, sorry, pretty late, it seems like it's corrected itself well enough. We're gonna wait for that 1,000-foot call out. Yep, there it was just as soon as I spoke. All right, we are going to go ahead, triple check, make sure everything is how we want it. That is good. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and disconnect the autopilot. We are now, oh, I probably should have set my camera how I want it before. I always do that. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and hand fly the plane in from here. We are a little bit fast. As you can see, those lights just to the left of the runway, there's 3 white, 1 red. That means we're just slightly high of the glide slope. So we gotta pull back our throttle just a touch. Never nose down or try to use the control surfaces to change the altitude too much. You want to use your throttle when you're on approach.
400.
Looks like we're just going to be maintaining this very slightly above the glide slope approach here. That's fine. We've got plenty of runway. There we go. We're back in line.
CRJ900.
And now we're a little low, but that's all right as well. And back
100.
online.
50. 40. 30. 20.
And cut throttle.
10.
And reversers. And we are down in Christchurch. All right. We're in. Thank you, Isaac. I was not a fan of that lineup initially, but that actually turned out to be all right. It helps that the winds for the landing were pretty calm. Excuse me. All right, now that we are off the runway, we can go ahead and did I already? Nope, I did not put the flaps up yet.
Please remain seated until
We'll
the
clean the
aircraft
plane up
is
here.
transported.
We will shut our landing lights off. Taxi lights come on. We don't need our logo light. And we don't have a gate assignment. We're just going to kind of, we're going to park wherever the hell we want. We're going to go over here. You know what? We're going to park next to that C-17 because I want to. Because that plane is badass. Yeah, we're parking next to this guy.